Hi friends, welcome back to my studio. I'm Katie and I thought I would do another update on my Sterling ink tester passport situation. So if you haven't seen the previous videos, I will link them down below and up above. But I printed these little like traveler's notebook it's only like 32 pages or something with the Sterling ink-esque layout just so that I could test it out before I purchased it or pre-ordered it. I did do that, but I'm still playing around with it because I thought I got really attached to it, to be honest with you. But I thought I'd give you an update, A, on how this is going, and B, it's having some pretty big ramifications on the rest of my planner system. So I thought that might be interesting to talk about. So let's see, how many weeks have I been doing this now? 1, 2, 3. So I'm kind of at the end of my 4th week. So I've really been living in it now, and I gotta say I've gotten really attached. I really like it. It's so small, and just like my Jinhao 82 fits like just perfectly next to it, which is just really satisfying. And I like how small it is, and it's light because I only have a couple inserts in there, so obviously that would be different with the whole book in it, but it's just super easy to carry around, and I do carry it around. So I've started thinking of it as my little traveling brain, and I like jot things down in this all of the time. So in the weekly spread at the beginning of the week, I fill in kind of appointment kinds of stuff and some tasks if I know what they are the day before. And then as the week goes on, I add things as they come up, things like what things are coming in the mail, what errands I need to run on my way home from work, and what other tasks I might be thinking of. This isn't enough space for a full like task list for me. So the way I've kind of started using it is these are tasks that I am filling in ahead of time. So either at the beginning of the week or a couple days before. On the morning of the day, I've started making a running task list. Don't ask me why I'm going backwards. It's stupid and not on purpose. But in the notes pages, I am writing a daily task list first thing kind of when I get up, which I've really been enjoying and finding helpful. And here's where I put things that I like think of that day, or things that are the same every day, but I just kind of want the satisfaction of checking them off, like filling in my journal and my 5-year journal, which I was behind on. So these are the kinds of things I don't put in the weekly spread because I don't have enough space for all like the routine tasks, like doing yoga and whatever. But on my daily task list, I'd like to have them there. I like to mark them off. And plenty of things are in both places, and I enjoy marking them off multiple times. So, you know, if it's a timed thing, I might mark it off here and on my daily list. And you know what? If it's positive reinforcement, is it a little silly? Sure. If it works for me, why argue with it? So I've been doing the daily tasks for a couple weeks now, not as long. And I average about 2 days a page for weekdays, and more like 1 day a page for weekend days where I'm at home more. I do have a similar daily task list in my work planner. I did decide that this wasn't going to work for my work planner. I did have a tester for it, but as I switched to daily lists for my personal life, I kind of also decided I wanted to have more exhaustive daily lists for my work planner, so we can talk about that another time. So I don't think that the passport will be my work planner. That's still pending for 2024, but there's time, and it might just be a bullet journal, and I'm cool with that. The other insert I have in here is just like kind of a blank grid, and this is where I do just little scratch notes or, you know, whatever. It's just a way to put notes in. And when I get the Sterling ink planner, I'll have to decide how I want, because it only comes in the compact version. There's 100 and something pages. It's not enough for my daily lists if I keep going at the rate I have been, but it seems likely that I'll like miss some days or whatever, so it might be enough. Or I could have my daily tasks on a like just an insert and use the back pages for notes of some kind, although then I kind of expect that I won't have enough notes to fill all the pages. I kind of wish in retrospect that it had been available as a half-year book, and then, although that would have been too many pages too. What I'm considering, to be honest with you, is buying a second one and using it as 2 half-year books, and then I would have enough daily pages and the weekly pages. But I haven't decided. I can't make a decision now. I only pre-ordered one, and the other ones are not available for purchase at the moment. So that's what's been going on in here. I really like it. I truly carry it around with me all day. I take it to work with me. I have it open on my work desk. Even though I have a work planner, it's so small that, I mean, I know it looks big in frame because it's super zoomed in, but it's so small that it like easily can go on my desk there as well. And where I found a lot of value in this is for the things that like I think of during the day but can't act on yet, or shouldn't act on yet, given that I'm at work or, you know, hanging out with my husband after dinner or whatever. I can just jot something down, and having it always on me is really nice. I didn't know that was something I was missing until I started doing it, but I truly enjoy just like carrying it around with me pretty much all day. I've never really been an everyday carry planner kind of person. My B6 home planner, which is what I used to use, always just sat at my desk. It's an art project. It's kind of an archive. It's something I care a lot about not getting damaged, and so it only just sits in my desk. This one, I really don't care. I have no intention of keeping this as memorabilia, and I am writing the tasks, although not the light color, in waterproof ink. So risks are fairly low, and at the moment I can just swap out an insert if something happens to it. I would be sad if something happens to the Sterling ink book, but whatever. So that is something that is different about this compared to the system, the way I had been using it with my B6 planner. It's just always with me, and I find that there are a lot of things that pass through my mind and that I didn't have really a way to keep track of, and so those things would just get lost or forgotten. And so I just have a paper clip here. This one is from Planners Anonymous. It's got a cute little donut, and I just paper clip the 2 sections that I'm on, and I can go back and forth on them easily and just mark things off as I need. Now let's talk about the ramifications on my B6 planner, which have been fairly significant. So let me show you a layout from before. I've been using, let me show you the old one. The Passport, this is kind of what I was doing, and I had all my tasks here at the bottom, and then kind of some memory keeping and sometimes specific tasks in the daily section of the weekly. But as I've started doing the Passport, I found that a lot of things were getting duplicated between there and here. And while I don't mind some duplication. It felt kind of silly. Things were ending up in the passport one first because it was with me, and then I was just like adding these later. So this week, here on week 4, which is the first time I've done this, I just got rid of the task list. This planner was already more of a journal than it was a planner. And when the passport got worked into my system, I started only having like a couple things there at the bottom, and I was kind of ignoring them and adding them later. And, you know, I could keep them, and it might depend week by week, but this week I'm skipping it and I'm really not missing it, and I'm really just using this as memory keeper. And it is also, you know, where my journaling happens, and so I don't really mind if this fully takes on the use of journal and like all of my planning happens here. But, you know, these things might change. Planner piece is a fleeting concept, so I'm totally cool to switch back and forth. This one is definitely the planner that is, or the book that I'm going to save and that I'm going to keep available to look back on, and where I worry about my ink colors and making it look pretty. This one is super functional. I just carry it around with me like an emotional support book, and it's just super functional. I'm very purposefully not decorating it, not doodling in it, nothing, because I want to be able to just recycle it at the end of its time and not feel any guilt. So I'm purposely keeping things as streamlined as possible in there because I do want to manage the number of things I'm keeping as memorabilia, and I definitely want it to be this planner, and I definitely don't want it to be that planner. So your mileage obviously may vary. There's plenty of room for little doodles if I wanted to, and I have been tempted, but I have plenty of places to doodle. I have sketchbooks carrying it around with me like you wouldn't believe. So I'm doodling there. The sketchbooks I'm always going to keep. So anyway, that is the update on my Sterling Ink Tester Passport. I will come back if I ever think of something to update you on, but right now I'm just keeping on, really enjoying it, and excited for when the actual Sterling Ink one arrives. So if you have any questions, let me know below. I'm happy to answer them if you've got any questions about the passport or common planners in general, or, you know, whatever else, fountain pens, you name it. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to hear more from me, the subscribe button is a great way to do that. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, friends.